U15. I think the RTC.
J'ai vu. No, it's the X15.
My darling, hi. I owe you money. I have to cook you something nice. I have to cook you something nice. Yeah, I have to make a nice food for you. Special, 100%, fresh, from scratch, everything. Yes. Good afternoon, Father. Oh, more than diesel. More than diesel. Yes, fellas. Afternoon. Good day. Nice to be there.
Yeah. Can I have it? Or do you want like it?
When you're ready, you tell him when to start, alright? So you're sure, right?
We're live already, or do you want?
I'm at the other side.
We're live already, or do you want?
Go ahead, shoot live.
We're live already, or do you want?
Okay. Yes, Calvin. Okay. Wow. Where you working? Somebody ready? Producer, you say I can go live, right? Good afternoon, and welcome to the Stock Farm Technical Complex. My name is Jordan Luke, and I will be joined by Mr. Ronnie Gustav in commentary here this afternoon for this under-15 international friendly between Dominica and Anguilla. And just to give you the starting lineups for this friendly encounter, first we'll start off with the visitors. Anguilla start in goal, Kasani Brown, number 1, Kilquan Julius, number 4, Takari Corner, number 5, Kian Hodge Rogers, number 6, Ajani Corner, 16, Kieron Hilbert, number 9, Kolani Joseph, 12, DeMarco Padrell, 10, Jaron John, 20, Kijel Robin, and number 7, and Zaire Hennis, number 19. For Dominica, Ozan Graham, number 12, Tishon Christmas, number 13, Kelano Williams, number 13, Asaf Banes, number 4,
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Stockholm Technical Center. Today we present to you the U15 friendly Dominica versus Anguilla. For Dominica this afternoon, our starting 11, we have in the goal number 12, Ozan Graham, Tishon Christmas, number 3, Kelano Williams, number 13, Esaf Banis, who is our captain this afternoon, number 4, Jeswani Baliz as Oblaze as number 2, TJ Luis number 5, Jayan Rocket number 15, Peyton James number 23, Demario Nelson number 9, Roxon Coppel number 7, Shepwan Bostov number 20, and Augustin Edric Augustin. Our second goalkeeper, that's our starting 11. In the center we have Mr. Matthew Walsh, fourth assistant, Mr. Gabriel Cesar, our assistant Pride John Baptist, and Mr. Maguire Suarez.
And representing Anguilla this afternoon, Kisani Brown, Kalikwan Julius, Tikari Corner with number 5, Kiwan Hodge Rogers wearing number 6, Johnny Corner wearing number 16, Kieran Herbert wearing number 9, Kolani Joseph with number 12, DeMarco Pradell wearing number 10, Sharon John wearing number 20, Kishel Robin wearing number 7, and Zahir Hennis wearing number 19, the starting 11 for Anguilla.
Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, enjoy the good sun, drink lots of water as we end at 11 tonight. DJ in the meantime, in between time,
So welcome, Ronnie, welcome again, and good afternoon again to all the viewers. It's the start of a very long football day here at the Stock Farm Technical Complex. First we'll be treated off to this U15 international friendly, and then we will have 2 Premier League matchups to follow.
Yes, Jordan, we know it's very bright out here, nice weather. For those of you who are in the diaspora, we ask you to tune to FIFA Plus that you can see the youngsters, those at home. We're hoping that the parents that are working as soon after you could come in and support the youngsters. We are calling on all Dominicans to come and support our young players who have been training vigorously for this tournament coming up.
Yes, and it's good to see that the association has organized this friendly so that before they go off, there will be some, you could say, repetition against an international squad. They can see some of the work that they have been working on in training and see if it will actually be able to carry them through for the upcoming tournament. I've not heard much of the Anguilla national team, so it will be good to actually see them in action.
Yeah, Jordan, as we know, the players have been in training for quite a while now, and seeing that they are playing home is always a good thing for them. You know that their friends could come and see how explosive they could be, how creative they can be in this game.
Yes, it's always good to play, to represent your country, but always much better to do so at home, where you have the possibility of friends and family able to come and see you, see how you perform, and cheer you on. And the game is off. Ball starts with Anguilla. We have the number 7, KJ Robin with the kickoff, but the ball goes long, trying to find the man all the way down the field. That's number 20 making the run forward from midfield. Jaron John. And on defense there for Dominica, Kilano Christmas just playing that ball out.
Yeah, so there's a good shadowing of him trying to elude the player from getting that ball across the goal, Jordan. And
Dominica seem to be, Anguilla, sorry, seem to have a very aggressive game plan here. Ball comes in long. And number 5 there with the header, Takari corner, getting over his man. However, Dominica able to deal with the pressure. Short corner taken there. Defender beats the man, plays the ball out. Anguilla doing a good job of team defending, eventually breaking away. Good pick up there by the Dominica captain, stealing that ball. Attempted dribble there by Peyton James. Lost possession already.
And Jordan, the likes of players with the captain as Issa, who have played the U15, have that bit of, advantage coming into this game there.
Good show there by the number 9 for Anguilla. Number 9, Kieran Herbert.
Dominica is on the break.
Upended there. The number 9 trying to make a drive forward. Demario Nelson winning a foul there for Dominica. Not a lot to report so far. Just one shot on, just one corner. First foul of the game.
Jordan, like both teams are just trying to get into the game, trying to feel one another.
So far, it definitely seems that there is a clear feel-out period going on. Free kick about to be taken, chipped over to the far side. However, Anguilla is there with numbers. Ball played back out to that side. However, easily stopped there, and Williams not allowed to move forward. Ball cleared down the field, but only a throw-in to Dominica the result.
The attempt was good, but I find the ball was a bit too short, trying to find the player coming from the far side.
Ball thrown into the middle there, number 15, Lockhart. Ball pushed forward, a number of attackers pushing onto the ball. The ball played forward there, but again, the number 5 for Anguilla, TJ Lewis, doing a very, very good job there of getting involved and clearing that ball out. First corner of the game to Dominica. Starts pretty even so far. Corners for one corner each, only one foul to Anguilla. No shots yet. Game just in the early stages. A short corner taken, ball laid off. However, a bit of slack play there by the number 7 from Dominica. Robson Coppel not doing a very good job of getting himself back into an onside position after he had laid off that ball and giving away possession needlessly there for Dominica.
John, come in! John, come in!
Good job there by the fullback number 3, recognizing the issue and clearing that Tishon Christmas. James winning the foul there. Peyton James has been a bit of a busy character in the early parts of the game, wearing that famous number 23. Not a famous football number, but a famous sporting number.
Also, he's one of the foreign-based players on the Dominica team.
It's good that he's been introduced early into the 4. Number 15 unable to keep possession of the ball there. And the long ball controlled very nicely there by the number 10, Pradell. Doing a good job of playing the ball over. Referee calls advantage. Cross comes in. Very tame cross in the end. Trying to find Robin. Not a very confident contact made by Graham there. A good job of keeping possession there. And the ball, oh, just a bit offside there.
3-on-1. How's he got away with it?
Anguilla's coach obviously upset with the fact that the Dominican player was easily able to outmaneuver 3 defenders. James doing a very good job there of showing his talent early in the matchup.
Yeah, what you can find from the Dominica team is Jordan, is that your first option is always going forward and not looking to go on this side or back to your play.
Yes, there definitely seems a clear intention of playing the ball forward.
You want to go from here, yes, and drop in. There you go. He's painting free.
Good job there of Anguilla, just keeping possession, trying to recycle and trying to play the ball down the line. Eventually number 16, Johnny Corner, young Corner, they are unfortunate. They have done a good job of some interplay, playing the ball on with his teammates. However, ball was eventually given away. And James has one possession here, a bit of a heavy touch. However, helped out by his teammate. And James is now able to push forward. And a foul there committed by the Anguilla midfielders, trying to prevent that pass getting through.
Yes, Jordan, and you can see young James is very aggressive going forward, looking to see if he can break the lines to the strikers. And then that foul, that infringement has had to bring him down. Where we get a foul, looking to get that ball dumped over the back line by CG.
Driven ball there. Doesn't really seem to have had a target. However, very good tackle there made by Lockhart. Recovering, foul given away by Dominica. Clear signal made by referee Matthew. And we are able to continue.
Yes, Johnny, the likes of James and Lockhart, who have played in the U17, know each other very well. And I believe that if they get to link up the way they need it to, it will be a very long day for Anguilla.
Well, this Anguilla team seems to have a bit about them as well. They seem to be very aggressive. They seem to be a fit team. Normally, you don't really find that from the quote-unquote smaller countries. Dominica could be included in that bracket. However, I find they have shown some good physical attributes. The players seem to be getting about the pitch. They seem to recognize the moments of the game. And I think for young players who are in the development phase of how to play, I think they've shown a good tendencies in the game so far. So far, there seems to be like both nations are building good foundations for their futures.
And that's at that level, that's where it has to start, Jordan.
Definitely. Good job there by the captain, and good support there on the clearance. Lockhart doing a good job of getting the ball into midfield, and the long ball trying to find the forward player there, trying to find number 9 for Dominica, Nelson. However, Anguilla doing a good job of basically keeping it calm, and the number 9 for Anguilla showing off himself a little bit. However, the ball is now with Dominica on the far side, and the players driving down the wing, evading the tackles. Did not really have an option. No one really making a run to give him an outlet. Very good job there.
Yeah, just a nice one by Jaden Lockhart.
Yes.
Trying to get through the defense on the left wing. And as a result, getting that foul in a dangerous area, bringing that ball across.
Dominica has been able to win some more of their fouls in dangerous areas, creating these dangerous opportunities. They just have it again. Not very good delivery from the dead ball. Good job they're controlling the ball away from pressure.
Back post!
And a good job they're blocking that ball out there. Number 4, Asaf Banis, the captain.
That way, check your shoulder. 2v1, back post.
Ball played long down the field. Another foul committed there by Anguilla. They're starting to rack up the infringements. That would be their 4th foul against. Good job there by Nelson on the far side. Ball played forward to James. And long shot coming in. Not very authoritative, and the ball goes back to Brown. Brown allowing his team to reset into their 4-2-3-1 formation.
Yes, it was a good attempt taking that shot. Dominica trying to get have that possession of the ball as they proceed forward, but somehow they're not taking the opportunities when they get a chance outside the 18 to take that shot from that distance.
Yes, I think so far in what I've noticed in the early parts of the game, in their 4-2-3-1, Anguilla is able to get down the field. They're not really trying to keep the ball. I think they're trying to move the ball quickly and really create chances early. Good job there by Anguilla, picking up the pass. The foul given away there.
No, not higher. Deeper.
But then Dominica seems to be in their 4-3-3 formation, well, or 4-1-2-3, because there's definitely one midfielder who's sitting deeper and the other two are more advanced. They seem to be trying to keep the ball a bit. It's more of a possession-based game. And a bit of a waste there, ball goes gently out for a goal kick, and Dominica will be able to restart. So it definitely seems to be a clash of styles, with Dominica trying to keep possession, build up, play some nice football against Antigua, who are looking to play quickly and be very aggressive. And the ball is played down the near side here. Kopel taking on his man and playing the ball into the middle. Number 20, able to control, getting away from his man. Great block there by the defender, not allowing Gustav to complete that shot there. Hodge Rogers with the great block there. Kijuan, Hodge Rogers, a bit of a tongue tire. Attacker tire as well, did a very good job of making that block there. And again, clearing that ball out to number 12, Kolani Joseph. The Anguilla team definitely seem to be working as a unit, doing a good job so far of stifling the chances when they do come up. Throw into Kopel there. Kopel doing a good job of evading his man. Dominica again doing a good job of showing their ability on the ball. A bit of a chance here, Kopel in an offside position. Shot goes into the side net. Would have been the first shot for the second shot for the game. However, not only registering as the third offside.
But Jordan, as we get the game is still open for both teams. You can see Young Gustav is one that looking going forward that could cause a lot of trouble for the Anguilla defense.
Yes, he did a very good job there of being able to hold off the defender. Ball going out on the near side here, throw in to Dominica. But I think the ball needs to be played into him a little quicker. Fall through the call. Something you expect to see more at this level of football, although not regularly, but it can be expected. Young players still learning the game. Very good job there. Herbert making a beautiful turn and a very dangerous foul made there. Lockhart, Gian Lockhart, a bit too aggressive, trying to win back possession, giving away a foul against the Dominica team. Foul there on Herbert, Kieran Herbert, for a beautiful piece of play to escape the first man, but the second man was the ball will go, but you shall not go. Foul, the result. Anguilla with another dead ball opportunity here. Can they create something? Ball crossed in. Headed clearance there by Ashraf and Isaf, and through the clear there. A bit of pinball. Good job there by the defender. Julius not allowing his opposite number, Nelson, to get away from him.
Yes, but Jordan, a lot of the long fouls that Anguilla is getting, they are trying to utilize Hodges Rogers seeing that he's one of the tallest players on their team and look like he's a good header of the ball.
Dominica forced all the way back and forced into conceding a corner. A bit of individualism there. I think the players, instead of trying to work out the situation as a team, everybody was focused on securing the ball. But if one player had opened up, gotten into a supporting position, maybe a pass could have been made and possession could have been rotated out to the other side. However, we move on. Corner kick, second one to Anguilla. First half moving on nicely here. Nice breeze blowing across. And the ball comes in and the header goes down. First shot on targets for Anguilla. Actually, their first shot. Good job creating that opportunity there. Ball driven off. Gustav making himself available for the ball, however, unable to receive it. Anguilla doing a good job of trapping the ball on the near side here. Aaron pass there, but James doing a good job, a bit overzealous there, seems to have tackled his teammate. However, Gustav is now on the ball, and Gustav is able to get the ball to Nelson. Nelson back to Gustav, and can they create on the near side there? Turns brilliantly on his man, but a beautiful tackle there. Winning another corner for Dominica. The corner is pretty much even in all categories except for shots on target and offsides.
Yeah, but Jordan, Dominica getting those fouls and the corners, but they had to utilize it. A lot of the corners coming short and the free kicks as well. They have to target their player into the box to see they get opportunity.
Ball flicked on there, but it was eventually flicked on into an area with no support, and the ball hooked back down the field there. Can he keep it in play? Offside the call. A good job there by young Nelson keeping the ball in play. Kilano Williams doing a good job of hooking that ball back down the field. However, offside was the call. The player had not regained his proper shape. Dominica definitely racking up the offsides. That's number 4 against us. Against Dominica, sorry. Good job there with the defensive header finding Nelson. The 1-2, the attempted combination, not really working out there. Good job there by James. Oh, and play was read there beautifully by the defender. Defender doing a very good job of cutting that out, and Anguilla are able to counter. Foul given away there by Dominica.
It was a good chance trying to get that pass through the lines for Gustav on the other side.
Yes, James again showing some good strength, agility, composure to not just keep possession of the ball, but actually escape the pressure. And a good job there by Kopel, getting around 2 players, driving down the field and
nice
playing the ball forward to Gustav. Gustav is one-on-one, takes his time, tries to finish. Shot on target, however, unable to really get past the goalkeeper.
Yeah, John, it was a very good opportunity here for Dominica that could bring them up 1-0. But Gustav looking for more power than losing for the finesse to bring that ball over the keeper.
Yes, probably should have gone for a bit of a better placement shot. However, he was stopped in his tracks. Dominica defending very aggressive. Tishon Christmas here on the near side, leaving a little leather, as they would say, on his opponent. But you have the ball being settled nicely for Dominica. James there a bit too casual on the control and allowing Anguilla to regain possession and eventually win the foul. A bit casual there from James. He had the opportunity, if he had brought that ball down and continued going forward, to create a really nice opportunity for Dominica. However, Anguilla is now on the ball with number 19, Hennis. James winning the ball back and finding Kopel in the space. Kopel driving. He has the opportunity to slide the ball through for Gustav, but tried to make one more take on and was thwarted there. Ball played out. Long pass attempted there by the number 9 from Anguilla. Herbert playing the ball out. And water break, cooling break called here by the officials. It is very hot here in the Nature Isle of the Caribbean, Commonwealth of Dominica 767. Just giving the players a little bit of an opportunity to catch some refreshments.
Yes, Jordan, you can see the Anguilla team are holding their line very, very well, keeping compact in defense. Though sometimes that the Dominica team have break the lines. Just as Coppel had that ball there, and he lifts his head, you will see the Russian striker going on the opposite side to break the line going forward.
Yes, I think he's done a very good job of, so far as a group, the team principles for the Anguilla and the Dominica team have been very evident, especially in defense for the Anguilla team. Compactness, support, mobility. They've done a very good job of delaying the player when they cannot regain possession. And when they've gone to regain possession, they've done so in a very effective manner. Not necessarily going in for the hard challenge, but playing fairly and going in to win the ball. On the opposite side, the Dominica team has their improvisation, their ability to create on the fly, their one-on-one duels. They've done a lot of beating their man in, to put it plainly. They've been able to get around. There's one time James got around 3 men. Coppel was able to escape 2 men recently on the line when creating the chance for Gustav. So they've done a good job in open play of getting around the opponents. They've just not done a very good job of finishing with the chances and making most of the dead ball opportunities they've had so far in the first half an hour of the game here.
And I have to say the Dominica team looks very disciplined in positional wise on the pitch. You could see that young Lockhart and CG, though we're playing 4-3-3, they are the 2 players who go back to support the defense in the transition from offense to defense. You have the likes of Percy Thomas, who is more looking like an attacking player. You don't have that forceful, vigorous as the other players. But he's very technical within his game, that he give those through passes to break the lines of Anguilla.
Yes, and then you just notice, as soon as the ball was lost for Dominica, number 5, TJ Lewis, immediately on the ball right now. He's playing in that very important number 6 position. And there you have James doing a good job there of trying to work the 1-2 along the sidelines with Christmas. The number 16 for Anguilla there. Corner, Johnny Corner doing a good job of dealing with the pressure. Christmas under a bit of pressure of his own making and then getting beaten down the line rather easily, and the ball coming all the way across on the far side, and a very open shot there for the number 10, it seems like, number 20 for Anguilla, Jaron John. Lewis there, able to get the ball back to Banis. Banis able to find Christmas, and Christmas does a good job there of finding Coppel. Coppel a bit too slack on receipt of possession and gave it away. However, throw in the resulting call. Again, a bit too long on the ball there by Christmas, seemed unsure of what his decision would be. And in these situations, it's always good to learn that anticipative nature in football, to know where you're going with your next pass before the ball gets to you. Good job there by Coppel to create some space. Ball goes into James. Lewis in a good supporting position, plays the ball back there to Williams. Williams in a bit of border, trying to find Nelson. Nelson losing possession, Anguilla on the ball, and the ball goes over the top. Very good combination play before finding the man. And he does eventually find the man. He comes to the man in the middle. The long shot is taken.
Yes, you have to say that's a great opportunity for Anguilla. The vision of the players and noticing that the keeper is out of the goal and trying to hit that ball over his head.
Yes, Kidron Robin.
Being on target, it would be a goal, Jordan.
Yes, would have been a very near chance here. Kidron Robin with a very good attempt there. Banis unable to keep that in play.
But of the 2 teams, I have to say Anguilla got the clearest of chance, Jordan. And
I think Anguilla is creating more chances, but that is because they also have a clear attacking objective. Long ball attempted there, very good defense. Collision there. Foul against Christmas there for the high foot jumping over the Anguilla player, eventually maybe receiving more of the damage. A bit of careless play there, not really taking into regard his opponent's safety. I think a good foul in the end, good call made by the official. Ban is there, forgetting he's not in the UFC and he's at the Stock Farm Technical Complex. A very good job of holding there. I think his judo instructor would be very proud. Showed a very good technique there, but we are not judo, no judo. We are not in the sea. Gustav, remember when you'd go to the beach with your friends and then we'd all give each other judo in the sea? Definitely not what's going on here at the Stock Farm Technical Complex.
Yes, but they have to say it was a good posting of the player trying to bring down that ball with is being at the back of him.
Yes.
But you can see the Anguilla team, technical wise, they are very strong.
And I also think that so far, back to the point prior to this latest dead ball, that Anguilla seems to be the team that is in the ascendancy or the superior team here so far. And it seems that they have a much clearer game plan as to what they are trying to do. Ball blocked by the wall there. A shot on goal, however, it was blocked. Went directly into the wall. And another corner here for Anguilla, number 3 of the afternoon. And Dominica again having to deal with some additional pressure.
But Jordan, from what I like in the game, Anguilla, their strength looks at on the wing. A lot of their balls is played on the wing, seeing that they have some fast wingers, so they look to isolate that winger a 1v1 against the Dominica defense, where they can bring that ball. And that's just what happened early on, where they got that early opportunity to score.
Corner coming in. Good job there by Dominica. And the Lockhart there seemed Lockhart there seemed to be going for the individual excellence. They're trying to penetrate with the dribble when there was a clear 3v3 opportunity. If that ball had gone forward quickly. Now Anguilla seems well set to be dealing with any long threat. James doing a good job of winning the ball back there on the first touch. Poor touch by the defender. Ball going all the way back. Barnes doing a good job of getting the ball out to Christmas here. A bit too long to take the obvious option. But doing a good job of eventually winning the ball back, playing the ball to Gustav, who gets it over to Kopel. Kopel trying to get around the ball, push forward there. Risky touch taken by Christmas. Eventually tries to get around his man. However, Anguilla is able to sort it out, getting himself into a bit of trouble. And deemed to be in a natural position there. Anguilla still trying to do too much with the ball in their box. Giving away a shot. Shot blocked there. Shot taken by Lockhart, but easily blocked in the end. No real danger to the Anguilla goal. And the ball is cleared out heftily there by John. Not John, sorry. John, not the one on the ball now. Joseph, the player who cleared that ball out with an almighty boot. Dominica playing the ball out eventually for a throw-in. Anguilla able to restart quickly here with Connor. Connor playing the ball on to Herbert. Herbert with the long pass, trying to find the man on the wing again. But a very good job there done by Williams on the far side. Christmas unable to keep possession, but through the support of James, he is able to find Kopel. Kopel trying to drag his man down the line. His man eventually giving him back the ball, and Kopel getting around Christmas, showing up for support, but using Lewis in the middle. Ball back to Kopel. Ball eventually goes wide. Gets around his man. And a very good job there by the Anguilla defender, not giving up a corner, but giving up the throw-in instead. Hodge Rogers.
Yes, Jordan, but you can see Dominica team, they string those passes faster against the Anguilla defense, giving them too much time to get compact in defense. As a result, you'll see a sea of orange at the back line.
Yes, we are a bit too slow on the ball. Dominica a bit too slow on the ball. They're receiving the ball in good spaces. They're getting themselves into good opportunities. However, they are not doing a very good job of moving the ball on quickly. They're taking too many touches. Like in the last instance, we saw young Christmas take an extra 2 touches on the ball to make the same pass that was available to him in the beginning of the move. A fall through signal there by assistant Matthew, and we go again. Lewis with a bit of firm play there. Christmas trying to push the ball down to Kopel. Kopel doing a good job of getting away from his man. Definitely seems to have the beating of the wing back. Foul there by James. Fouling Joseph. Joseph doing a good job of getting himself into a how can you say, defensive position.
And you can see Jordan, the Anguilla team is well disciplined in the defense, well composed, and young Hodges Rogers looks like he's a marshal at the back for the Anguilla defense.
And the opportunity to play the ball forward there for Dominica, but again, that man you just mentioned, Hodge Rogers, with the Spider-Man-like reflex, stretching his leg there to prevent that ball getting away. However, Dominica with the breakaway. Williams trying to come down on the far side, eventually getting away from his man, getting the crossing. Ban is there. Oh, Lewis with the heavy touch there, unable to settle that ball down. Ban is heading the ball back in, and Lewis doing a good job of putting him under pressure. Gustav picking up the ball, spinning away, but not with the ball. Ball eventually cleared by the number 5 corner. For Anguilla, corner goes down after the collision, seemed to bump himself, and the ball played out there by Julius. Carl Quinn Lewis.
It looks like young Hodges is down. Hodges Rogers.
Corner, Tikari Corner is the injured player for Anguilla. Number 5. Hodge Rogers is coming near to the touchline, seems to be coming to get some water, maybe some instructions. Has been a vital figure for Anguilla so far in the early stages. Has done a very good job of keeping them in the game, you could say. He's made a few vital interceptions, a few key blocks, keeping the scoreline at 0-0. So just to go over the stats here, we have no goals to report. 3 shots for Dominica, 4 shots for Anguilla, 1 shot on target each, 2 corners for Dominica, 3 for Anguilla. Dominica committing 8 fouls against Anguilla, 5, and 4 offsides to report on the Dominican national team. But it's been a good game so far. Again, a bit of up and down, a few players to look out for. I've been very impressed with Hodge Rogers from Anguilla. Also the number 7, Robin, when he's gotten a chance to get on the ball. Joseph in midfield. Also Pradel and Herbert have done a good job of keeping things tight at the back for the Anguilla national team. For Dominica, James, of course, James has been very involved in the play. Kopel as well. The fullbacks, Williams and Christmas, they've also been very active in the game so far. Let's see how it continues. Throw in on the far side. Long throw taken, trying to find Nelson. Unable to get possession, but a very good job there by Lockhart of stealing in. However, he wasn't able to keep possession. Again, Anguilla doing a good job in the midfield area. However, very rash challenge here by Gustav on the number 9, Herbert. Herbert just probably doing a bit too much on the ball there, giving away possession. And eventually we will restart with a free kick. Anguilla on the far side.
But Jordan, a lot of the balls go to Kopel on the wing. He looks like he's the primary player for Dominica on the wing. And
Yes.
I feel if he could just put his head up a bit faster, that he could play that ball, because you could see
Step up!
that
Step up, PJ, you're
the
too
skill to take a player to 2v1 in attack. There comes Dominica missing. It's
A bit of a mix-up there for Dominica. They're lucky they didn't get into too much trouble there. Louis doing a good job of shielding away the defender there, and Barnes eventually shielding the ball back to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper with an awkward throw there, seemed almost like a discus technique, putting a lot of awkward spin on the ball, making it difficult for Christmas on the near side to handle that. Ball played into Robert, but then defending all the way to Gustav, and the ball is played along the ground. Great pass there, finding Nelson. Nelson taking a shot, and a brilliant save by the goalkeeper. Brilliant save by Brown there, diving away to his right-hand side and playing that out for a corner. Dominica winning their third corner of the game.
Yes, a great opportunity for Dominica here. Breaking the lines of Anguilla, and the player just had to compose himself because the keeper was way out of his goal and tried to hit that ball overhead. But he go for the finesse, and seeing that the keeper is very tall, he just make a dive to the right and hit that ball out of the goal.
Yes, very long stretching keeper. He made full use of his frame there, but I must say, very good job there by the Anguilla team of recovering shape on that attempt. You could see a lot of players getting back and denying Dominica the space they required to really create an opportunity. Lockhart there with the long chance from the rebound, however, high, wide and harmless, going out for a goals kick. Hodge Rogers there trying to play the ball forward. A bit of pinball on the far side there. And eventually going out for a throw into Anguilla. Very aggressive play there by the youngsters. Long ball played forward there to the number 19, Hennis. However, he's upended and Dominica is away. Ball through to James. Christmas taking a touch. Plays the ball next to Kopel, who is next to him. Kopel again easily getting around the man. Pradel, the number 10. However, Pradel gives away the throw in. Ball played back to Lewis. Lewis doing a good job of finding his teammate, trying to drive the ball down the field to James, but James doing a good job. Hodge Rogers again doing a good job of keeping away from his man. Banis playing the ball out for a throw in. Johnny Corner taking the throw in quickly, playing the ball into the middle, and it's caught there a bit tentatively by Graham, and the long kick trying to find Nelson, not of the best quality. Nelson doing a good job of sparing the keeper's blushes, and the ball is eventually moved on to Lockhart. Lockhart finds his midfield anchor, and a lovely outside of the boot pass played there to Nelson. Nelson, ball into James. James getting on the keeper. No, eventually fell there, unable to get himself in an attacking opportunity. I think even if you could have said there may have been a trip, there was no possibility of regaining possession. The ball had already long gone after the second touch, getting around the keeper. James there, unable to create an opportunity from a beautiful bit of play there.
Well, as I say, Jordan, when the referee is wrong, the referee is right. And I have to say that from my perspective, that looks like a penalty. Even when he tried to regain the ball, the player came from the back and push him.
Yes, again, I definitely believe there was some contact, reverse ball played there, but the player obviously not expecting. Ball quickly cleared out there by Brown. Brown, the keeper, the only one to really be alert there in that situation for either team after the pass was made. But he did a very good job of clearing it out.
But it was a very good build-up play by Dominica going forward, I have to say. And as mentioned earlier, if we look to string those passes faster against the Anguilla team, that they'll get much more opportunities.
3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half here. It's been a good game so far. Anguilla taking the short route. Number 4, Kilquan Julius not allowing the Dominican Nelson to simply keep possession there on the far side. Williams with the throw-in. And you're very correct, Ronnie. Dominica seems to be the team with a better technical ability, average ability amongst the squad, ability to keep possession, make the open passes, find a teammate.
Get a pass. Do it, Johnny. Do it, Johnny.
Good job there by number 16, Johnny Corner, playing wing back here, left wing back for Anguilla. Did a very good job of getting himself into position and eventually fought in danger. Hodge Rogers trying to get a firm hand there on James, and eventually he sent his defensive partner to carry corner, able to clear danger, and Anguilla winning a throw in here in the late stages of the first half. Ball coming in. And the foul, one there. It's been a while since either team had committed an infringement. It's been a pretty nice, good flowing game.
Yes, and I have to say number 7 for Dominica, which is Coppel. A lot of times having the ball in his feet, you could see a lot of the Anguillans get to him, cluster, and if he just play the ball a bit faster, that he could receive it or create space for his teammate, I think Dominica will get much more chances going in the attacking field of Anguilla.
Yes, I think he's been trying to be a bit too individualistic, and the ball flicked on there. Very good play there, flicking on that opportunity. However, no one there to make the most of that opportunity. Long ball goes all the way. Corner taking the throw in quickly, finding the number 19, Hervis. Shot taken there. Zaya Hennis with the quick shot there. And the easy pass into Lockhart there, relieving the pressure, set up there, and Coppel just a bit slack there, not expecting the ball to come all the way over to corner, Johnny Corner. Corner doing a good job of clearing the danger for Anguilla. James taking the ball quickly and playing it to the other side. No one expecting the on-rushing Nelson. And whilst it could have been a corner, referee decides to call an end to proceedings here in the first half. 0-0 the score, and nothing much to report on either side. So Ronnie, just to give the fans the stats here, there should be no goals to report. 5 shots each for both teams, 2 shots on target for Dominica, 1 for Anguilla, 3 corners each, 9 fouls to Dominica, as 5 to Anguilla, 4 offsides to the Dominican team. Pretty even first half. Both teams showing some good potential. Anguilla seeming to be the team that had created the better chances in the first half, but Dominica definitely having the potential to create a little more. Probably if they decide to work a little bit more as a team and with a bit more cohesion. Any thoughts, Ronnie, on the first half?
I have to say the Dominica team, Japanese Dominica team, I find their shape in offense. A lot of their games are looking to build up from the build-up phase, from the back to the wing, but one of the things I observe when the captain Asa receives the ball, no one goes to support it, and as a result he have to force to play a long ball, and many of the times young Coppel does not get back in time to receive that ball, and Anguilla have realized that, and from time the captain Asa received that ball, he closed down the avenues that Dominica will not be able to receive, because early in the game, that is what they were getting, a lot of opportunities playing the ball in the build-up phase to the creative phase on the wing. And that avenue has been closed, so I think Dominica have to look to see where players like Young, Lockhart could get themselves within the center to receive that ball, because whenever Young Coppel Lockhart come to receive the ball, he gives those long passes, precise passes to his players, where he look very dangerous for Dominica on the offense.
Yes, so I think it may be a situation of the Dominica team putting the individual pieces of brilliance together a little better. You have Lockhart on the left side of midfield, who is doing a good job of supporting Lewis, who has been a very good anchor in shielding in front of the defense. And then you have Christmas, who has been the free midfielder, who is getting forward. The free midfielder getting forward, creating attacking opportunities. However, it just seems that we need maybe a bit of more spacing, a bit more anticipation, a bit of faster play to just really bring the entire performance together. But we're going to take a quick break here. In about 10 more minutes we'll be back, and we just hope you enjoy yourself here at the Stock Farm Technical Complex. We'll be back in about 15 minutes.
It's good to do something for you all the time. You're in a place like you don't want to do it. So if you don't want to do it, don't do it. I told you during first half, pass, collect, even if it's a coin, whatever, the fans give. That's what I want to do, because I cannot leave dry up for now.
And you did strike, I know you've been doing that, because that was slight to bring.
But just take a plastic or something downstairs, a coin, then you just go on the sun, you pass a box. Whatever contribution is made, if you don't want to do it, I will come and do my thing short. Of course, yeah. Or sit down in VIP, that's all the work.
Yes. Because at the beginning it sounds bringing it up to you're stopping right, but right now he's staying up and looking for him to take long, and that's what it was. They were on control now. And it's yes, you have to
Yes, I did.
in the pocket. Come in the pocket and right there. In the half space.
My mic not live. Or the mic still on bus. Alright.
And we are back here at the Stock Farm Technical Complex. We are just a short delay here to the restart of the game, starting off the second half. Seems that there was a bit of a injury, a worry with a spectator, someone falling ill on the outside of the stands. So the medical team is just on the outside settling the situation, whilst we are here just getting ready to begin the second half. Again, both teams showing that they have definitely come out to have a good time, to play some good football. And again, just to go over the stats of the first half, no goals to report, 5 shots for both teams, 2 shots on target for Dominica, 1 for Anguilla, 3 corners each, 8 fouls to Dominica, 5 fouls to Anguilla, and 4 offsides to the Dominican team. Again, Ronnie, what are some of the things you're looking out for in the second half here?
Well, I'm looking for Dominica, based on how they're playing, to move the ball a bit faster, especially young Popel. With the skill he have there, especially isolating to get a 1v1 on the Anguilla defense. Because a lot of times when he receives that ball, as I said earlier on, a lot of the Anguillan players get to him, seeing that he's one of the most skillful players on the Dominica team. So you need to in progressing, need to play that ball much faster and move into space. Also, our midfielders like young Lockhart need to get into the half space of the game where he can receive that ball and turn, knowing that he have he's a caliber of player that can do such that he can look to give those through passes up front. And look for young James as well to be more on the ball, to get the opportunities going forward. But so far, I say the game is open for the both teams. I have to say,
yes.
The opportunities, both teams are getting opportunities. It's just a matter of converting.
Yes, and again, just to reiterate, for medical purpose, just to let the fans know that the game is not delayed because of any issues with the players or the officials, but there is a spectator who seems to be needing some medical assistance on the outside of the grounds, and we can see the ambulance moving in there probably to take them away. Both medical staffs of both teams are on the outside, so we're just holding up the restart of play so that we can have the medical teams back on the benches before we resume. But yes, just to go back to what you were saying before we gave that little bit of announcement, I do think Kopel has had a very good game so far. His technical ability is good, but his technical speed is a bit too slow. Yes, he's getting around his man. Yes, he's beating the man. Yes, he's switching feet and making the pass, but it's happening too slow. And it's allowing the Anguillans to recover on the second ball and the third balls that would have come from Kopel's initial movement. And I must say, the Anguilla defense, Johnny Corner playing left wing back, and then you have Hodge Rogers, number 6, who is playing next to him. Tikari Corner, number 5, who plays in the center. Julius, Kilcon Julius, he plays almost a fake right back, right center back kind of position. And then you have number 20, who is Jaron John. He has not really been associated with the defense. He's been pushing up a little higher on the right flank on the far side. And it seems that our injury scare is resolved. Medics are returning to the bench. Ambulance is heading off. Sirens are blaring. So hopefully our ill-stricken supporter, spectator, will be able to receive some much needed care at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. Again, it's good to see the people coming together around the event. Not necessarily a positive, something we would have wanted to see, but it's good that no further injury has come from it. And the players are going out to the field. Seems that we are ready to start here. And no changes, it seems, to report from either team. Lockhart, coming back to the review, and it seems that one change has been made. I can clearly see number 10 is now on the field, and the missing player seems to be Kopel. So Tyran George is in. Yes, Taron George coming in, and it seems that Kopel, number 7, was replaced, and then so you see George in the middle there, clearly playing for the middle. Gustav has now taken on a left wing role, but the first foul here of the second half is committed by Anguilla.
Yes, when you see Anguilla come up a bit more aggressive than the first half, not giving Dominica that chance to turn on the ball, but it was a good shadowing from young George had just been introduced to the team on the pitch right now.
Yes, I think Anguilla, again, I've been very impressed by the physical attributes of the Anguilla team. I think physically they are definitely up to the challenge here. They just seem to be maybe a bit inexperienced. Maybe again in Dominica, some of these young men play for their club team. They play for their school teams, under 15, under 17, under 20. We're a bit of a bigger nation, so there is more opportunity. And a quick ball played out to the number 5 there. And it seems that multiple substitutions were made here at halftime, so we're just going to go over them quickly.
A very good tackle there for Dominica left back, trying to prevent the Anguillan from going forward.
And just to confirm, it seems that 3 substitutions were made here by Dominica. So we did get one correct in Kopel going off for George. We also had Christmas, who was very prominent, got involved a lot. Has gone off for Caden Joseph. And we also have number 17, Elon Pascal, who has come on for number 2, Jeswani Blaise.
5 yards off, 5 yards.
Blaise didn't seem to really have a bad first half, but he definitely was not very visible. Probably Dominica trying to give some playing time to more of their players.
But as we know, we have 2 games today and tomorrow. And
ball cleared off.
And also there are some players are not available today for the Dominica team for certain reasons.
Yes, Pascal definitely. So we basically have a new side to the right side of the Dominican defense. Barnes doing a good job of putting the ball under pressure, forcing, and Nelson doing an even better job of coming in and winning the ball, playing it to the new right back, Joseph, playing the ball forward to George. However, offside is the call.
Yes, George just chose to go in too early, and he just delay his run, then he would be able to get that ball, because you see he's a young, strappy young man playing up front for the Dominica team.
And I must say, the new defensive addition seems to be a lot bigger in size, physically, more of a domineering presence. You have number 17, Pascal. Pascal looks like a fully grown adult. He looks like he could be playing in the Dominica Premier League, but he's actually not yet old enough to play in the Premier League. So he definitely looks like a solid prospect, someone we can look out for in the next few seasons. Maybe see him playing for Middleham United or the Portsmouth Bombers. Free kick, however, call given to the Anguilla team. Dominica committing a 10th foul of the matchup.
Watching left. So here on the 10. DeMarco. Next to 23. Hold up the line.
Long ball coming in high, very accurate. However, Pascal doing a good job of creating enough discomfort. And the ball won there by George, trying to push forward. Gustav trying to really add some intensity to the situation. Throw in, one there by Dominica.
Yes, I'm Jordan. One of the things I am observing the Dominica team, whenever it's a corner kick, they keep their free wingers up to see if they could get that counter 3v3 against Anguilla. It has not materialized as expected, but I feel the objective of wanting to pursue it. Here come Anguilla.
Keep going, John. Keep going, John.
A bit of misplaced clearance there. Pascal getting on the back of his captain, letting him know that he had time and he had an option on the other side. He should have done a much better job there. Lockhart too easy in the midfield. Should not put his head down. Ball goes in behind the defense. However, the goalkeeper Graham is easily able to collect any danger. Lockhart is picked out in the midfield and plays a long ball down the field, caught in there by the wind. Nelson does a very good job of getting the ball on his fullback Lockhart, trying to cross the ball in, and it seems that Dominica has won another corner here, the first of the second half.
Let's get one, guys. Let's get one.
Can Dominica be a bit more threatening here? They have not been very good at their set-piece delivery. Dead balls have been a bit of a non-factor for the Dominica national team here in this matchup. They probably could create, but however, we have not really seen a good ball coming in. So there's not much to say, but this seems to be a much better ball, and it goes in, and it seems to hit the hand, and penalty is the call there from referee Matthew. Penalty giving away the ball, striking the arm of the Anguilla player, clearly striking the arm, and the ball handed over there by the captain to the number 10, George. Will he be the one to put Dominica ahead there? Players seem very pleased with their performance.
And as you were saying, Jordan, just one cross that came in at the weight, the flight it was supposed to come in, and we get a penalty. Dominica getting a penalty as a result of that. Likewise, the corners they have been getting was just falling short. Yeah. The Anguillians could just
easily clear it.
Easily clear the ball out.
Yes.
Here come young George concentrating, waiting on the whistle from referee Matthew to take his penalty.
And it's a goal! Dominica takes the lead. Taran George with the finish. Slotted past the left-hand side of the goalkeeper. A bit of hard luck there for the Anguilla team. They've been playing really well so far in the first half. A bit unfortunate that they have given up a goal here. However, I must say, the Dominican team has played very well to earn themselves that opportunity. The Anguillan team should not feel hard done, and they should stay in the game, because it's been a good matchup here so far. Let's see what they can continue to produce. Long ball, played forward, all the way to the number 20. Mistake there by the goalkeeper. However, Williams there in a good position already. 20 has not given up. John pressuring the ball, and a foul called there. Foul number 11 given away by Dominica.
So just as I was saying first half, a lot of times the Anguillans look to play that long ball down the line. That is, it looks like that's their strength, knowing.
Yes, and shortly it seems that we will have another substitution, and this is one.
Nice clearance from the Dominica centre back.
17 is Pascal. So Jan Lockhart for coming off, and Kalik Privo.
Number 21.
Kalik Privo is a young player I've seen in person a bit. I've never seen him play, but he's a player who has a lot of promise, pushing that ball forward there to young Gustav. However, the ball going out for a throw-in. Privo is the brother of Jante Kazimi and also Justin Kazimi, who play for the Petro Caribe Port Michel team. Applying some pressure there.
Yeah, you can see he comes from a football family.
Yes, and it should be noted he also has a younger brother that I believe is better than all three of them. So the young Prevo comes from a good football heritage, and again he's a player who has a nice football aesthetic. He looks like a quality footballer. However, he has to show that talent. Ball going to George Brown with a competent catch there, allowing his team to reset. Out ball there, and ball played forward. Good job finding John, but Banis is there.
Control the ball.
I have to say, Jordan, that Dominica, one thing I admire about the Dominica team is that they are very disciplined in positional wise. They are keeping their line very disciplined and being compact in the defense in transition of their play.
Yes, I think Dominica has shown a good propensity to recover ship. I think unlike most of their senior counterparts, and it's not a criticism of any one player or any one team, I think the under-15 national team have set a good example of what football should look like in the modern day. They have gone forward in attack and they have come back in defense, and that has not allowed Anguilla to create any easy opportunities. It has allowed them to thwart any Anguillan opportunities and create opportunities going the other way for themselves. But as we have the corner coming in here, and the ball simply goes in and out before it gets to the goal. And it seems that the ambulance has returned. So we are all set here again. Hopefully all the best wishes to the person who was injured, and Prevo on the ball for the first time. Beautiful turn there, creating a lot of space for himself, playing the ball on, but the ball coming off the defender. However, Gustav is able to find the ball. Prevo on the ball. Prevo trying to play the ball long. Oh, however, unable to find Nelson or George. However, Nelson does a good job of recovering possession, and the flick played there by George. Back to George, and he takes a shot. However, it goes just wide there.
Yeah, very good creative play there from the players, knocking that ball, and as a result, George getting a nice shot, just not being on target. But it was a good build-up play by Dominica going forward.
I probably would have liked to see George playing in Christmas. Christmas was wide open on the far side there. A bit of more unselfish play. Again, the best teams in world football are genuinely unselfish with the ball. You genuinely find players not trying to be the superstars themselves and trying to get their team in the best position. So that was one I would have really liked to see George finding Christmas, who was wide open. He's had a good game so far. It would have been nice to see him getting on the score sheet. However, Dominica now has a throw-in. Pascal with the authoritative cross there into the box. However, Brown looking very competent and goalkeeperish, as they would say, and collecting that ball cleanly there, allowing his team to reset and driving the ball down the field. No one in there to attack. Banis, a bit of unsurety there. Oh, and a bit of skillful play there by Herbert in the midfield. Prevo a bit overzealous there, giving away Dominica's 12th foul of the game, their third foul of the second half. Ball played along the floor there to Julius. Oh, getting around his man easily. So much too easy. The cross coming in there. No one to attack it. No one to take on the second ball. And the ball. But there was someone on the goal. He scored! Oh my!
19.
Number 19, Zaire Hennis.
Yeah, John, as I was about to say, that Dominica is losing their discipline in the game, in their shape at the back, looking to just rushing tackles. And the communication at the back was not the best. The keeper chose to stay on his line and not rush as quickly as possible but I blame the right back he should be able to see the player, on-rushing player coming in, that he could easily control the ball and distribute that. He chose to just send a wild fit towards the ball and losing it.
Yes, definitely not a lot of composure shown there by the Dominica team. But I think it was a difference in intensity and a beautiful get around there to beat Lewis. Lewis has not really been beaten in the game so far. One of the few times his man was easily able to get around him, trying to find James there, and the game stopped because a player seems to be holding his face. That seems to be Nelson, number 9 for Dominica, Demario Nelson. And just to go back to revisit the goal while we have a breaking player, while young Nelson is getting some treatment. I think it was a difference in intensity, the goal, where you had the Dominican team taking it easy, assuming that everything was okay, there was no danger at the back, there was no man there, so we don't really have to bother about it. Even the goalkeeper didn't really seem too concerned about getting out and making a clearance. However, the Anguillan attacker, number 20, Jaron John, really got in there and was able to poke that ball home. So it's very good to see that the player did not give up on the play. He stayed fighting till the end and actually was able to finish very competently for his team. Anguilla has not had a lot of shots. Dominica clearly with the lead in shots, on shots and shots on target. However, Anguilla, having created a lot of good chances, were able to put one in the basket.
Yes, John, one of the things I noticed of the game is that the Anguillans are more composed on the ball, the way the Dominicans are just rushing towards the wherever the ball may be. Yes, it's true they are compacting defense, but they are not holding their stance in other than jerking for the ball and to just rushing to the oncoming player to prevent him from making that pass, because it started on the left wing, where he ended up hitting the ball to the next side, and as a result, the player not looking the vision of race players and just rush to try to clear the ball and then missing it, and the keeper committing himself coming out. The player just
easy goal in the end given away there by Dominica. I really think it was an easy opportunity given away. But again, as you were correctly saying, just a culmination of errors. I think the Dominica team has shown they are much better than the goal that they allowed to be conceded against them. However, it happens in football. The time you turn off, and that is why the modern game, as taught to me by Peter Pendergrass, former World Cup referee, is that the modern game is won and lost in transition. The moments where the ball is unowned, the team who is more intense and more alert will generally create more opportunities. Ball goes in there, George coming short, however Lewis playing the ball in long, and Pascal coming in on the back of his opponent and giving away a foul there. Again, Dominica committing their 4th foul of the second half. They seem to be a bit more foul-y here in the second stanza of the game. However, doing a good job of keeping the game tight. Anguilla doing a good job, very good job of creating an opening there for themselves. Pascal. Elon Pascal again seems to be a very serious unit, clearing the ball there to his substituted compadre Curden Joseph. Joseph trying to clear the ball, not doing a very good job there. However, James in a very good position, and Prevost midfield working very tightly there to get away, but a very good job there by Johnny Corner, one of his first forays forward from that defensive position. However, George is getting away, beats one man, takes a long shot. Why did he do that? Why did he do that? He had a lot of time, he had runners, he had support. Again, something I usually tell players when I get a chance to interact with them: you can go for a goal or you can go for glory. George on the ground there, holding his ankle, may have been injured from his own accord. But then you can go for goal or you can go for glory, and George definitely seemed to go for goal there, as opposed glory, sorry, wanting to have his name in lights as opposed to trying to work an opportunity with his team that would have put them in a good standing.
Yes, I think George just get overexcited there, seeing that the turn was a very good turn, but he had the likes of Nelson on the right side where he could just give that ball through to go towards goal.
Yes, there was Nelson, Gustav, Prevost was in short supply. James was also nearby. So he had actually 4 options. If he had just taken his time, Dominica should have definitely created a much more viable opportunity. And again, going back to what we were saying at halftime, there is a bit too much individualism in the Dominica team, and it definitely seems that the water break has been called. Now both teams, full teams, coming to the side to take a bit of a breather, get some refreshments so that we can restart the game here at the Stock Farm Technical Complex. But again, Ronnie, Dominica being a bit too individualistic, too me or I minded, would you say?
Yes, especially in the creative and the finishing field of the game, I think the decision making is not what we expect it to be. We expect the players who have been training for a while, we expect them to be looking for one another. And as you say, a good team is a team that when they are bonded together, that the ball will be flowing much faster, better, and the decision making will be where you want it to be as a player. But it looked like George has come into the game. Yes, he brought a very good, strong energy into the game. But as his decision making has to pass the ball, distribute the ball, play the ball in the half space for his players, he's not doing it.
Well, I think in terms of Kopel versus George did get scored, but that was from a penalty. But from open play, I definitely think Kopel gave the team a little more on the wing. He was an option. He was able to get around his opposing number a few times. I think he made the wrong decisions much too many times. However, I do think he was a good option in the game generally. You've seen the team lose a bit of that gusto and that force they had coming down his flank. However, that I guess concentration has come more through the middle with the goals coming and a few of the other opportunities. However, the game has not flowed as well as it did when Kopel was in the game. And here you have the game being restarted. Williams able to move the ball on. Joseph trying to play the ball forward to George. Again, had Kopel been in the game, Kopel would have definitely been hanging wide and making himself an option for that play.
Well, the technical part of Dominica team has changed. As you said, I'm Jordan. Dominica is more looking to play the ball through the center than to play the game on the wing, where we were much more creative in playing the ball.
Ball going forward there. Gustav putting his man under a lot of pressure there. Kilquan Julius forced to play that ball out, not really given the opportunity to decide. And then we have another player down here, and that seems to be the number 7, KJ Robin for Anguilla. While we also have Nelson, the Mario Nelson, still off on the sidelines here for Dominica, receiving a bit of treatment. Seems to have been a problem with his eyes. And again, the eye issue here at the Stock Farm Technical Complex with the artificial turf, if you go down and a bit of the black rubber gets into your eye, you might have a little bit of an issue there. They seem to be trying to wash something away from his eyes. Hopefully that is not the issue and he's okay. But very good job there done by Julius. Again, Kilquan Julius, number 4 for Anguilla, just shadowing the ball out, not allowing Gustav to get on the ball. Quick restart taken there. Ball played on by Hodge Rogers to a Johnny corner, driving forward, trying to play the ball in, but James in his makeshift wing position, throwing in for Nelson, doing a good job of winning the ball. However, try to get around his defender before making the pass. You have George trying to tell him, well, no, that's not what you should have done. However, you have Joseph there very forcefully giving away the free kick. Another foul against Dominica. Dominica racking up 5 fouls here in the second half, almost equaling the tally of the Anguillian team for the entire first half.
Yes, John, I have to say Dominica have lost a bit of their zeal going forward, as the likes of Kopel not being in the game, because he's one that would hog the line for Dominica.
Yes, I think definitely tactically they had a better balance with Kopel in the game. Kopel did a better job of holding the line. Dead ball just goes out for a throw-in, rather unfortunately. But I would say, like, as you can see now, there is a clear intention of Gustav to stay close in. You also have James, who is staying rather close to them. So with a man off, it almost seems that Dominica is now playing a 4-2-3 with all the attackers playing in a very central type of role. Long ball going forward there by Pascal. Very good job to drive the ball, but no one really attacking that ball. Attempted forward pass there by Julius. However, number 13 for Dominica, William, sorry. Back heel. And again, Dominica reacting while Anguilla being proactive. Back heel attempted there by the captain. However, he's able to find Prevo and James. Finding Prevo, back to Prevo, through ball, and beautiful ball there by George, and George left the ball alone. George did not do anything.
I feel the first touch let him down, Jordan. Yeah,
sometimes the ball is just too good for the player. That was a beautiful George ball played there by Prevo, but then you see you have the defender Banis, who was on the ground, got up to try to help himself, help the team. However, he has had to go back down again, and a bit too much there, allowing Joseph to clear the ball. Prevo trying to play the ball forward to George. The goalkeeper allowed to take the ball in.
Yes, but John, you also in the game right now. Anguilla is playing a very high line because they realize Dominica what the tactical aspect of their game is, looking to play that ball long overhead of their defense, and as a result of that, the keeper is always by the top of the 18-yard box.
Yes, and whilst in the last play there, it seems that a lot of the players were calling for the play to be stopped, for the player to be checked. However, in typical football fashion, if a player is down, we just play the ball out. You know, I think, and it just goes to the typical propensity of modern day football that too many times players expect the referee to be their saving grace. But it seems that we had a substitution here for Anguilla, and I can tell you that Jaden Derrick, number 13, has entered the field of play. Not sure exactly which player was removed for him, but I will definitely be using my detective skills to figure out which player on the Anguillan team was removed. So DeMarco Pradell is the player substituting, and Jaden Frederick, the player introduced. Pradell for Derek. And Dominica does a good thing, Joseph, throwing the ball back to corner, playing the pass with his defensive teammate, and then driving forward and eventually finding Joseph in midfield. Joseph playing the ball to Herbert back to Joseph, trying to find Derek. However, possession is given away. Herbert doing a very good job there of escaping Gustav and playing the ball in behind. However, the goalkeeper is able to collect. Joseph unable to keep the ball in play. Pascal with the foul there. 6 foul given away by Dominica in the second half. And it should be noted that Dominica was actually down to 9 men with Nelson and Banis off the field. Asaf and Asaf Banis and the Mario Nelson both off the field. However, the Mario is now back on the field, whilst Asaf is still on the side. Another dead ball situation here for Anguilla.
Yes, Jordan, but as you see, Dominica is outnumbered with that ball coming across the goal.
A bit of a blunder there by the goalkeeper, putting himself on a bit of unnecessary pressure. However, good job by TJ Lewis, in terms of getting himself in a good position and eventually stopping the danger for his team.
As you can see, the Dominica players are not calling back their players to support in defense, because it was like a 5v4 with the Anguillians being in the box, Dominica not marking the way that we are supposed to be marking.
Well, I think it's a mindset. Again, defense is a mindset aspect of the game. And a team that defends well is a team that has a clear intent to defend as a unit. Joseph doing a good job of holding on to possession there and eventually getting the ball all the way across to James. James playing the ball forward to Gustav. Gustav getting on the inside of his man, gets in there, trying to cut back, trying to find the man. However, Julius, very strong, very resolute. However, only giving the ball away to Williams. Williams playing the ball to Gustav. Gustav coming across to Prevo. Prevo laying the ball off to Joseph. To George, sorry. George getting on the man, taking a shot and iron wide. Had Nelson there on the layoff. Probably could have used Nelson and regained his composure. However, shot number 9, another shot of target for Dominica.
Yes, Jordan. As we have said earlier on, George, yes, he getting the opportunity to go of 2v1 against the players, but then when he has to the decision making and letting off the ball for the incoming player, he does not. As you said, he goes for the glory. Again, young Nelson needs to call, let him know that I am here on the run, because at the momentum of the game, you may not, your player might be in front of you, but you are so focused on what you're doing, you may not be able to see your player. That's why the communication is so much important.
And almost a mistake opportunity created there by the Anguilla national team. And we had Williams, who had to make the last-ditch effort to play the ball out. And very sad for Dominica, it seems that Ofas Banis, Asaf is unable to continue. He has gone down again and seems to be in a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, and may simply mean that he is off. A bit disappointing, considering Dominica had already made a defensive substitution, taking off the other centre-back, Jaswani Blaze, when 3 substitutions were made. And according to the team sheets here, Dominica does not have another substitute. So we may have to finish the game with 10 men unless the goalkeeper is able to play as an outfield player.
Here, stay! Get back into here!
And here, Jordan, serious head injury there. Both players going up and colliding in the ear, head to head.
Yes, I was just about to say a bit of good play there from Hodge Rogers to create the opportunity for his team. However, Pascal and his opposite number going up to try to win the ball there, and Pascal had won the ball but received a headbutt for his troubles. hopefully both players will be able to recover.
But getting back into the play, Jordan, where young James got the ball and give that nice through pass, breaking the lines of Anguilla to Gustav, and Gustav getting that ball on his left foot where he could take a shot, try to cut back in where the traffic was, and as a result of that, losing that ball.
Yes, young Gustav took again, it's your decision making, but that comes from your scanning. How much information do you have before the ball gets to you? Those who are ignorant are easily manipulated or fooled. So if you do not have enough information before the ball gets there, if your defenders are quick and assertive in their movement and actions, then you'll be under a lot of trouble, which is what happened to him. He was unable to just for a bit of information, number 21, Kalik Prevo, has taken over the armband for Dominica. It definitely seems that Asaf Banis will be unable to continue here. We might also have the number 5, TJ Lewis, dropping into defense next to Pascal, who is currently off the field. So again, Dominica is currently playing with 9 men as they have 2 injuries, 1 permanent and 1 temporary. But James driving forward, trying to play the ball in behind. You had George kind of giving up on the play there. Hopefully he does not have superstar syndrome. Felt that the ball was not good enough for him and just gave up on the play. Just seemed to be walking at the end there. James showing for the ball. Lovely control, able to turn. Prevo sets it up, showing in the middle, finding James, and James taking the quick shot, the snapshot there. Good bit of interplay there between James and Prevo. The 2 young players showing a nice bit of link up there. However, they were unable to really get it set up. Joseph dropping a bit too much there, allowing the Anguillan team to come all the way down, and the player goes over. Penalty for Anguilla. Very clear penalty. Zaire Hennis creating the opportunity. Very quick feed there to get around his opponent. However, I think the problem there initiated with the defender, Curtin Joseph. Joseph did have support coming back to him in the form of Kalik Prevo, and he never engaged, he never tried to delay his opponent. He simply kept dropping all the way back till he got into the box, and other players had to come and try to press the ball, resulting in the defense being a bit off balance, and eventually the clear opportunity created there for the man who will be taking the penalty, number 7.
Yes, but
Hennis.
I have to say, Dominica did not close on the player coming from the left side.
No, and that started from Curtin Joseph. Penalty taken, and a save made there! Save!
Yes, great save by the keeper, and Dominica is on the attack.
Great penalty save there, made by the defender. And there you have James getting around his man and winning a foul.
But John, I have to say, getting back to the penalty, I really think the player, yes, there was some form of contact, but the striker, I would really give him a 10 for that dive. At the Olympics, he for sure would get a mark of 10. But as you say, when the official is wrong, the official is right. And
yes, I think the goalkeeper Graham made a very good job there. The striker Hennis actually stayed down, but he's now on the ball again, trying to create another opportunity. Graham again. Graham seems to have Hennis's number. Ball given away. Long clearance. Shot! And just over the top of the bar there. Good job there by, is that the number 13 substituted player, Jaden Derrick?
Yeah, I think right now Dominica is looking to rush the game because Anguilla is high pressing right now, and as a result of Isaf not being on the pitch, that Anguilla is pressing and Dominica is making a lot of mistakes at the back, decision making.
Ball coming in. Was that a shot come cross or?
I think he attempted to be a shot, just going wide.
Yes, another shot here by the Anguilla team. Going a bit off target. Joseph playing a little more central now with the departure of his centre-back partner. George coming close, but then trying to spin and run away, unable to really get into an attacking position. Maybe a bit fortunate to get away there. Foul. Luckily to have won that foul there, in my opinion. It seemed the ball had already gone away. Very similarly to the penalty shot for Dominica in the first half. But then if this foul was given, then it definitely seems the penalty could have been given, as both were very similar in nature. Ball rolling away from the player and contact made while he was attempting to recover. However, the long ball comes in all the way into the box. Corner with a very good clearance there. George very casual on the ball, nonchalant at best, trying to beat his man and eventually losing out to his man, Johnny Corner, and forced to foul Corner to stop the breakaway going the other way. A bit too casual there by George.
Not just Jordan, young George need to play the ball faster, and I feel he's holding up on the ball too long. A lot of times his players are there to support, and he looks to turn into traffic instead of playing that ball and move again.
Well, again, young George may need to review this tape and look at the times when he could have maybe done a little better. Prevo doing a good job of recovery there, putting his man under a lot of pressure. His man very skillful, not giving up and eventually getting past Prevo, but Prevo eventually playing the ball out for a throw-in. Very good job there. Number 20 versus 21, John versus Prevo. Prevo came out the best there. However, Williams is able to clear for Dominica, trying to find Nelson. Nelson a bit tentative, and James doing a good job there of supporting him. James getting around his man and held by the hand there. Definitely seemed to be a very dangerous play there. The number 4, Julius, holding on to the shoulder and seemed to have really tried to intentionally injure his opponent. A yellow card given there, but very dangerous play there,
yes,
made by the number 4, Julius.
This reminds me of the Champions League final of Liverpool and
Real Madrid.
Ramos brought down Salas.
Yes, definitely seemed that was an intentional move. He seemed to grab the shoulder of the player and twist while he fell. I think maybe a more severe penalty could have been given, but again, I have the option of looking at the game from an elevated vantage point. I also can take my time. I'm not running, the referee's running, the sun is hot, I'm in the shade, so there are a lot of factors that could have maybe affected my perspective of the play, but maybe with a little VAR booth, a little assistant referee, video assistant referee, and a little shade of referee Matthew to review the play, he might have changed his mind. However, that is not the case, and we're not going down that road. It seems that young James is okay, recovered from that heavy fall, and Dominica again having to play with 9 men because of extenuating circumstances. Young James seems to be breathing for his life there. However, Lewis is on the ball, playing the ball into the back post again. No one from Dominica attacking the ball. And again, that's something I don't really like to see. Prevo doing a very good job there of winning the penalty. And there you have the Anguilla defender tackling his teammates in a haste. Not really sure why that aggressive play there by Takari Corner. However, it's good to see James back on the field, jogging on gently.
But Jordan, the Anguillans are not so much bigger than the Dominican player, but they are very technical in their game of play.
I think the Anguillan team are definitely I think it takes time and experience to develop a technique and a tactic to your technique. So yes, we can pass, yes, we can run, but we're doing it this way, that way, this way, in a sequence to create a particular outcome. And here you have George over the ball. Can he create? He seemed like a player, very intent, takes a few steps, and the ball directly into the wall, but there you have James!
Our linesman Suarez on the line, seeing what we may not have seen, and calling outside of James.
Very close call, but at first glance, I definitely think James was onside. At first glance, I definitely felt that James was onside. A bit of hard luck here, and then Terran George trying to get himself disciplined for no reason. I think he will definitely learn. Again, he's a young player. He has not had a chance to play in the league. Referee Matthew is definitely not the official to be giving any hard talk, because he will definitely be disciplining you. Again, no one forwarded where the ball was playing. I think the main difference in the substitutions for Dominica, I think, whilst they have wanted to give everybody an equal opportunity, I think the substitutions have hurt the team a bit. I think besides for Pascal, I think Joseph for Christmas did not really work out, and I think Kopel for George did not work either. I think that Kopel was a much more consistent option on the wide area, and whilst he was a bit selfish in his play, he definitely was able to really, and it seems that I'm running to step away. It seems that another Dominican player has gone down. Pascal is now off the field and seems to be heading to the ambulance. So Dominica currently has 2 permanently injured players in Banis and Pascal, and I think there was another player off, but that's half time. That's full time, sorry. The game is over. 1-1 is the score. And as we make our way down for halftime interview, full-time interviews, just to again go over the statistics. 1-1 is the score. We had 10 shots for Dominica, 9 shots for Antigua, 4 shots on target for Dominica, 3 for Anguilla. We had 17 fouls committed by the Dominican team, 10 by Anguilla, 5 offsides to Dominica, and 1 yellow card offense given to Mr. Julius. So we are making our way down here to see if we can grab some of the players for an interview before we step away here. Again, it was a good game. So Ronnie, let's see if we can just grab anyone and grab some of the players. Yeah.
Coach Dominica.
Okay. One moment. So here we have our first interview with Kalik Prevo of the Petro Caribe Point Michel team. Kalik, what was it like?
Well, we went down. We had 9 men on the field, and that breakdown us.
I think besides the breakdown though, I think this was your first performance. We're representing the country. Congratulations. How did it feel?
So I feel happy. Yeah.
You feel happy about it. What do you look in terms of not just the next game but moving forward?
So our finishing. Yeah.
Finishing needs to improve a bit. Well, Kalik, thank you for your time. It was nice talking to you, and we'll see if we can get one of the coaches to come and give us a win. So first up, we'll be having the coach of the Anguillan team. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
How was the game?
Yeah, I think for me, first and foremost, the game was a lot of back and forth. I think it was a lot of entertaining game. But firstly, I want to say a big thank you to Dominica for helping us host this unbelievable game, an unbelievable chance for these kids to get an opportunity to play. So for me, for the game, yeah, it's very enjoyable, but my big thing is an opportunity for them.
Yeah, but in watching the game and assessing it, you look like a lot of times your direct play is to the wing. Is it because of the type of players you have that have the ability of taking on a player 1v1 and bringing that ball across? But even in the transition of getting the fouls and so, you use young Rogers a lot to get in there to maybe bring that ball back in for the striker.
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost, I think it's really good analysis. I mean, notice that our game plan coming into is always use our wide players. I think Anguilla and maybe the Caribbean as a whole have got very athletic, fast wingers, so we want to try and use them as much as we can. Yeah, I think regarding our defence, I thought our defence played really well today against, again, a very strong and attacker in Dominica. So I think the main thing moving forward, happy with the defence. Game plan was definitely trying to get the wingers on the ball and try and utilise our set pieces as well. That was quite a big one for us. I thought our set pieces were really good. But again, I just want to go back to the point of what a great day for football between two nations for an under-15s to give them an opportunity and a chance to play.
So how long you all have been preparing for the tournament?
So so to come here, we've been back in since I believe March with our TDS. So that's what this team is for, is our TDS game, and been playing Dominica's TDS as well. So we've been in since March. We've been coaching I think 4 times a week. So preparing not so much for this, obviously preparing for every game that we have, but also for the CONCACAF 15s coming up.
So as a result of you playing Dominica this game there, how many friendly games before you meeting Dominica you all have played so far?
So in terms of friendly games internationally, we went to a tournament in BVI where we played BVI once and USVI twice. So 3 games internationally, but we have to be very creative, I think, in the Caribbean and finding opportunities to play. So we've played a lot of times out under 17s just to get them 11v11 opportunities. So internationally 3, but at home probably around 4 or 5.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
All right, thank you, Coach. It was nice meeting you, and hopefully we can. It was a good turnout. I think the Anguilla team did a good job of representing themselves. But here we have Coach Kit. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
So how was the game initially? What did you think of the overall performance?
It was poor, honestly. I said that to the boys at half time. It's not representative of a team that I want to see as a coach, and it's not a team that the people that came to watch today and the people of Dominica deserve. It was a poor game. Really disappointed with how we performed, in all honesty.
Well, I have to say, Coach Kurt, at the beginning of the game, a lot of time you were building from the build-up phase from the back, starting your game, and I certain time in the game that Anguilla realized that you were very much effective building from the back, and they were closing it down, and still your players were still looking to continue playing that game and playing that ball long, and we were losing it a lot of times. I don't know, the second half it was changed with having your captain Asaf. Most of the balls were going to him in the build-up phase, but in the creative phase at times I think we were moving a little too slow in transition going forward. I don't know, what would you say?
I agree. I mean, what we've done is we've hammered in a few things for the boys the last few weeks. We've given them options how to play out and what happens if we get pressed, what happens if we've got time. Ultimately, as you guys know, when it comes down to game time, these boys need to then take the decision and the onus on themselves, right? You know, and ultimately the decision making was poor today in that sense. Second half, we gave them a couple of different options, but you know, we were hampered with a few things that happened. But ultimately, again, for me, the decision making was poor all over. You know, we've given the boys the tools, and
well, I know it's your first friendly game being together cohesive as a team. I have seen the glance of a lot of things, especially the discipline in your game, staying in position as likewise before. Wherever the ball is, they would be chasing down the ball. But I could see that part of the game, the little things are very much important in the games where I see the shape of their game stay as, even if when they win the game come to 1-1, they were still holding that discipline in the defense, likewise the midfield. In transition, I think going forward, George, in the second half the game has changed, because in the first half you were playing a lot of the balls to the wing to young Kopel, where he was very creative. And again, to you say, a lot of things come down to the decision making.
Yeah.
A lot of times I believe he having the ball, if he could just let it go early and then move, because he's a very dynamic player, 1v1, and he was not utilizing what he has on the pitch.
Correct. I said that to him during the game, you know, is he left-footed or right-footed? Because Roxon for me is fantastic, but you know, if he's on the right, you need to go down the line. You need to go and take your man down the line. And too many times he would make that step down the line, get his yard advantage, but then come back up inside on his left, try and beat the man twice. And we don't have that. You can't do that as a winger. You know, you need to beat the man. And we talk about transition slow. We were slow in transition today because we're always first up forward. It's always direct. As soon as you win the ball, your first action, your first two actions have to be positive actions towards the goal. And for me, again, like we said there, I don't feel like we were taking on our players. I don't feel like we were making those defence splitting passes. We created two fantastic opportunities in the first half with blindside runs and through balls, but we didn't do it enough.
Yeah, but in the second half, I also am bringing in George. The game has changed where you are going more down the centre than you were utilising the wing because maybe because Coppell was not there.
But I think naturally when you have a player of Taron George's ability, you need to utilise that, you know. And you've seen a couple of little tricks and flicks that he had, a couple of moments he had where he's created opportunities. And what I like about him as well is, okay, maybe it wasn't the correct decision all the time, but he's not afraid to go and have a shot at goal. You know, and I like that about him. So naturally, you know, if you've got a player of Taron George's ability, it's how can we get him the ball as fast as we can, and then players around that.
Yes, and I know you have one of your foreign players, which is James. He has a lot of composure on the ball, and the precise passes going up front. I think. What would you have to say concerning him as a foreign player coming in to strengthen your squad? Yeah,
I think he showed a tactical understanding, a little bit of game understanding, even in terms of how he talks to the players and things like that. Organisation, I think he's got that from his education overseas. Good player, and I think maybe potentially with the heat today, I think just we started to sort of drop off a little in that second half. Maybe exhausted too much of his energy in the first half, but for sure a good player, a good technical player, and one that's got a little bit of a better game and tactical understanding, probably from his education in the US with Houston Dynamo.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you much.
Cheers, man.
Good game. All right, for myself, Jordan Luke and Ronnie Gustav. Ronnie, overall, it was a good game. I think both coaches made it quite clear that we had the Anguilla coach who was very pleased that his team came out and they executed the plan that they had intended. And then I find on the other hand, you had the Dominican coach who was very disappointed in the sense of he didn't feel like his team executed the game plan as designed, which we were saying during the broadcast that we felt that Dominican decision making could have been a little better. And again, the coach concurred because it just seemed a bit off in some of the situations. Any last words for our viewers?
Well, tomorrow Dominica will be playing again against BVIs, and I think Dominica will be giving a better account of themselves tomorrow because seeing that they had 3 players that was not eligible to play today because of religious belief, and tomorrow they will be in and knowing that they are starters of the team, and saying that the captain is down tomorrow. So I think they will give a good account of themselves tomorrow. And we're looking forward, we're hoping that the fans will come out in numbers tomorrow because tomorrow is not much of a working day as Saturday. So we're asking you to come out and support the young boys.
Great. And again, for myself, Jordan Luke, Ronnie Gustav, on behalf of Stream Genius, the Dominica Football Association, and the Anguilla Football Association, everyone involved, thank you for being part of this broadcast, and we will see you back here in a bit for the continuation of match day 13 in the Dominica Premier League. So, Ronnie, have a great afternoon.
Bless it.
Until next time. So you'll be back, right?
Yeah, we'll be there tomorrow.
So question, where do you guys live?